You're listening to the audio production of the Ice Diaries, the untold story of the Cold War's most daring mission, by Captain William R. Anderson with Don Keith, published by Thomas Nelson and read by Roger Mueller.
Preface. The talented and gentlemanly naval historian Clay Blair and I co-authored the book Nautilus 90 North shortly after the USS Nautilus, the world's first nuclear submarine, made her historic transpolar crossing in August 1958. That exploration, under my command, charted a top-of-the-world under-ice passage from the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans by the way of the North Pole. But our book was necessarily incomplete. Most of what actually happened remained hidden to public eyes, highly classified for years afterward. Security concerns prevented us from revealing the most interesting features and capabilities of our nation's first nuclear submarine. We included very little background information on people and programs that were key in the development of Nautilus, her initial sea trials, and the under-ice explorations. Lacking also were details of behind-the-scenes events that gave impetus to the ultra-secret mission, some of which I only learned about years later. Even though the book was essentially a restricted accounting of the historical voyage, it was a resounding success, climbing to the New York Times bestseller list in 1959. And before long, Nautilus 90 North was in print in a dozen or more different languages and distributed worldwide. Over the years, however, it became more and more apparent that if viewed as a historical account, our book had significant shortcomings. Now I'm able to tell the full story about how Nautilus and her fine crew literally broke the ice on Arctic Ocean exploration by a nuclear submarine. Our first under-ice excursions were in September 1957. Within weeks of that historic under-ice exploration, I had a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to suggest that Nautilus explore and chart an ocean-to-ocean route across the top of the world, transiting the Arctic Ocean via the North Pole, completely under ice. If successful, the reconnaissance would immediately gain a strategic advantage in a part of the world that the Soviet Union considered their backyard. At the time, the Soviets were our primary foe in the Cold War. The suggestion that Nautilus was ready to make such a trip was of interest at the highest levels of government and the Navy for many reasons, not the least of which was the fact that U.S. technology was viewed as lagging behind that of the Soviets. Their new Sputnik satellites were successfully circling the Earth before our space rockets could get off the ground. The person who ultimately made the decision, and the ultimate difference in the success of the secret mission.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?